Good morning, guys. This is Brina, your English librarian here at Lawson State Community College. I'm creating this short tutorial this morning to give you an overview of the resources available to you through the Alabama Virtual Library. At the moment, we're at the home page for the Alabama Virtual Library. The URL for the Alabama Virtual Library is www.avl.lib.al.us. Or you can do a simple Google search and find the Alabama Virtual Library through Google as well, and usually the first entry will be for the Alabama Virtual Library. Now that you know the URL and how to access the Alabama Virtual Library, I want to show you the home page briefly. From the home page, you can see that they have a banner at the top here, and in the top right hand corner you should see an icon of the state of Alabama with a green check mark. This green check mark indicates that using our IP address that we are currently within the state of Alabama. Since these resources available through the Alabama Virtual Library are available for residents of the state of Alabama, as well as for citizens of the state, they use the IP address to indicate that you are within the state in order to give you or grant access to these resources. So looking at this icon, you can see that they know that I'm within the state of Alabama, so I have a green check mark. If there is a red X here over this icon, you'll need to hover to your left where they have the help link, and a drop-down menu should come up, and from the drop-down menu, you'll need to click on AVL Help Desk. And from the Help Desk webpage, you will be able to do two things. You will access the phone numbers for Alabama Virtual Library, where you can call them directly for immediate assistance during either normal business hours during the week or on nights and weekends as well. Normal business hours for the Alabama Virtual Library will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and their weekends and their evening hours, I'm not necessarily certain what those are because they're not indicated on their website. But just know you can call them directly if you have any issues with accessing any of these resources available on the website, or the authentication system or their geolocating system does not indicate that you're within the state. So with that said, the second option you have is to send them a ticket through their ticketing system, where you can let them know that you're unable to access a resource or not able to access the website in full, and you can tell them whatever problems you may be having, and they usually should respond within 24 hours to your inquiry or request, okay, using their ticketing system. So with that said, I then want to move on to talking about resources through the Alabama Virtual Library. The Alabama Virtual Library does a great job of breaking down resources for the different types of users that might be using their website. As you can see here from the banner that you will see on literally every web page, the Alabama Virtual Library, they have for you broken down into user types here, resources available to users. So they have resources for elementary school students, middle school students, high school students, college students, as well as adult resources, along with e-resources or e-book resources. So these are going to be electronic books. We're wanting to look at resources available for college and university students. So let's click on college and university. When you click on College and University tab, you will then be brought to the web page that lists for you all the resources available for college and university students in the state, which there is quite a bit of resources available. As you can see from this information box here, they have resources ranging from business all the way through social sciences here. So there's quite a bit of resources here. For English students, you want to focus on literature and language resources. So I love that they have broken down the resources into categories. So we can click on literature and language. And when you click on literature and language, you will then see that they have what appears to be some 8 resources available to you that should be helpful to you when doing assignments in your English courses. The 2 that I want to point out to you that might be useful for your English 101 course is going to be Academic Search Premier and possibly Gale literature based on the assignments that might be given. I know that in English 101 you write an informative essay as well as argumentative and persuasive essay, and so you might want to utilize Academic Search Premier in order to find some academic resources or scholarly sources such as academic journal articles or peer-reviewed journal articles, things like literary criticisms as well. If you are having to analyze a piece of literature that you might, or short story you might read in your class, and so it's a great general database. The Gale Literature Database provides a wealth of information like book reviews or literary reviews of things like short stories, novels, etc., as well as literary criticisms of things such as novels, short stories, plays, etc., that you might need if you're having to do a critical analysis of something in maybe another class like your English 102 class. So these are the two resources that I would highlight through the Alabama Virtual Library, but there are others, as you can see here as well. If at any time you have any questions for me about any of these resources, you can always reach out to me at sdyck@lawsonstate.edu, or you can simply call me in the library at 205-929-2068. Thank you and have a great day.